Hello, Fushidek here. We're going to play Planet Nomads. Now, I may make a continuity video about this from the time that I'm on the mothership to the time that I end game, whatever that is, and I'm not going to give any spoilers because I haven't even got to the end of the game. This is a demonstration video. I'm kind of practicing how to build in this game, and it's kind of a warts and all. And
you're becoming tired.
And it will take a while. Okay, apparently my character died. But I didn't die. He just popped. You're becoming tired. He had slept in a stasis chamber that I made on my little kind of a base of operations, and that's on the coastline. It's not too far from this escape pod. But it was just popped out of the air. I mean, like you would. He had respawned outside of the. Yeah, there's my first base that I made. Just a little kind of a dinky little foundation with some equipment on it that I'm going to use, and I'm going to the first crash spaceship. That apparently has a drop ship from Leonida by someone commanded by John Terry, I guess. I'm going to tear that apart and make that my real base of operations near that. And I'm doing my voice overs post-production because Nvidia sounds terrible when you try to do it as you play the game. And it always cyberfies my voice. So this is done with what you hear turned off, because what you hear is horrible in Creative Labs. And so this is post-production, and it works a lot better this way. And I can cut it off before the 20-minute mark, put it on YouTube. Some of those killer fireflies there. Boy, someone really genetically engineered this planet to mess up, and it was me. I don't understand this bit about the seeds, and I wish the creators would release them manually and how to name the seeds. I don't know what that means. I don't know what the numbers mean. I don't know. I just sort of just pick names at random. Sometimes I just use letters, sometimes I use numbers. And then name your nomad, I think that's the planet. So this is basically just going here, so I don't run into any of these pits in the pendulum. I lost my last buggy in that. In fact, it was my free ride that I got the first time I came out on the wreckage. There was a buggy there that was ready to be fixed, and now I got to build my own. And I had already built mine, and it also got lost. It was a pickup truck kind of a thing. There's the ship. So I'm going to cannibalize that for parts. My buggy is still there. So my buggy, which I had thought had, yeah, there's my pickup. Okay, good. With its cow catcher on the front to catch all those pesky cows and unicorns that keep attacking me. They're also killer. And everyone here is a ravenous animal. Everyone's trying to attack me. Even though I think this was on medium difficulty as well as I remember, but all the animals, including the rams. I guess they look like kind of like rams. Buffalo as well. Yeah, they will attack you. So that's why I got the cow catcher on the end of it. There they go. Damn unicorns. Put the light on. Trying to get that plating off of there and go inside the shelf that I had repaired the cargo pod. I'm using that as a shelter, a makeshift shelter now. It had been open on one end when I found the ship, so that was no protection against these crazy animals. So the drop ship in my version of the planet, with my seed, dropped the ship right in the middle of this herd of these attacking aggressive animals that are obviously carnivorous, even though they look like grazers are carnivorous, aggressive, unicorny-looking creatures, and then these kind of cow-looking things, these buffalo-looking things. So I'm always having to fight them off. And until I get my garage built, it's going to be this way. And I'm going to work on my actual shelter for all my living stuff, and then I'm going to work on a garage so I can repair these cars and fix up more cars, and I may actually get the ship to fly. I may try to repair the cockpit and the aft system and try to get, if it's possible. Now they don't implement starship travel or spaceship travel in this game. They said in the Kickstarter sales that they were going to implement space travel, but I think they decided not to because it was it wasn't going to be cost effective or something, and it was too much trouble. And the detail they put in the world is really awesome, especially in the daytime. Although it seems like it's mostly night here, or storming and stuff. But the daytime, when it's a clear day out, it's really spectacular. It's really fucking spectacular. I have a Nvidia Nvidia 1080, a GTX 1080, and it strains my card to run the graphics at ultra settings, but it's really awesome to see, even though it's a choppy frame rate. So I have mine set on high. They recommend the TI version. I don't have the TI version. I have a non-TI version, and I can't seem to find any TIs for a good price. Let's run this bastard down. I'm getting tired of these fucking things. Every fucking time I put up 2 or 3 blocks, these things come out and attack me. Well, it gets a little old after a while. I'm not into killing animals like this. But hell, they're attacking me, and there's a bunch of them swarming around. It's a gang. It's a riot of unicorns. So let's mow them down. My multi-tool is not an effective weapon against them. It takes forever to kill them with that. So I'm just going to mow them down with my cow catcher. Pickup truck with this wide front.
Nutrition level critically low.
Ram on the front of it. Protects the front wheels. But it also gets stuck in all these pits too, because my front wheels, with my 4-wheel drive vehicle, it blocks the front wheels, and so they can't move to get me out of the pits. Even this game, so depending on your seed, you're going to have planets that you may think are okay to run around on, just hilly country, and then all of a sudden there's a pit there for no reason. You know, and I've lost several vehicles that way. This is my now I got this truck out several times, but the vehicle that was the derelict vehicle from the dropship that I found that was already half built. I built the cockpit, I got it working, and then I lost it in the pit, and I had to disassemble it for parts. Luckily, I scanned it beforehand, so I knew how to build these things. When you scan the vehicles, you'll instantly start being able to build your first item, your jack, and unlock some of the goodies that you'll need to build these vehicles, including the wheels, the suspension, and your own cockpit. Otherwise, if you break the cockpit down, that's it. And you don't know how to build it, you haven't unlocked it, that's it, you don't have that cockpit. The spaceship has what's called interior cockpits, which and it's not what it sounds. What I've got here is an exterior cockpit, even though I'm inside of it. An interior cockpit means you build a big, like, you wall yourself up, and then you have an open seat inside, and it's for larger vehicles. And it's got 3 cockpits in there, interior cockpits, and I'm going to rebuild those up once I get that unlocked, and it will unlock. I have unlocked that before, but not here. Not this
you are nearing exhaustion.
And right here, I'm mainly trying to get my body in check, because I keep losing food and water, so I need to keep up my resources, so I keep myself alive, and then I can collect resources. It's sort of like, early on in the game, it's like playing catch-up, so you have to do all this shit. And you lose, and you gain, and then you lose again, and there's other things you lose, and you lost water and you lost food. You need iron for this. You can't build a fab machine if you don't have these materials that you just happen to be missing. So depending on what you extract from your mining tool, which can be used act as an arc welder or a binding tool or anything.
Dehydration level critical.
Sometimes you don't extract many minerals at all. You just extract maybe a couple of those biomasses. But other times you hit gold. You get a bunch of stuff, including fruit and water vegetables you can use to purify your food with and make better meals. Same with minerals, like the crystal there that makes those sounds that da, da, da. Well, that sound, I thought it was a soundtrack, and it sounds pretty cool. It's eerie. I love that. It goes with the background, the backdrops. But it's actually the crystals. But if you turn the music volume down, it will turn down with it. But it goes with the music, and it goes in sync with the music. So whenever any of these tracks play, it's really awesome. It's really pretty and eerie at the same time. Definitely a Japanese artist, these musicians. It reminds me of a guy that played called Draken, except the music here, of course, is better instruments. But those crystals, that's what's making those noises. There's crystals all over the planet, and every time you hear that, one of those crystals doing I guess somehow it reflects off the sun or shimmers or whatever it does. Well, one of our missions in the log, it would say, is to find out the nature of these crystals, and you can extract from the crystals before you find the nature. Some we can extract iron, like the kind of a reddish ones. Some we can extract silicon, like the white one that we just passed there, and make glass with it, and so forth. And of course, there's other ways to extract glass. There's the suspension system for my other vehicle that was destroyed, I'm not really sure why my character did what he did, because I actually had a sleeping bag, and I slept in the cargo bay on this ship here, and then wham, I ended up over next to the drop pod on the outside of the ship. I mean, what the fuck? So yeah, I didn't have a stasis chamber built here. I have a stasis chamber in my other base. So that was kind of weird. I mean, so there's obviously bugs saving. Sometimes there's inconsistency. Sometimes there's the field of view will warp your perception to where the images get stretched out. And I'm not talking about changing the field of view. That will anyway. There's nothing you can do about it. I'm talking about if you leave it at like 65 first person and 75 field of view at third person. Well, if you work at these things long enough and you do real tedious stuff and you spend a lot of time with these things. I tried to rebuild the cockpit, and I built a big fucking cockpit, and that's in another video. And I actually built it three times the size it is now, with a wide kind of a viewport with, like, the windows were, like, I used several panels of glass and everything. Well, I guess apparently either my video card overheated or it's taxed something. But it could be a game glitch. It probably is a memory leak in Windows 10, who knows. But then my view started distorting like I was taking some kind of a LSD or something. So there's something wrong that, even though it's in the full release, there are certain things they haven't fixed yet, even though it's gone from the beta stage to full release. So there's a few things. They're still having the bug. You can still report bugs, so apparently they haven't completed this game yet. It's possible they may end up giving you the ability to make craft thrusters so that you can use it as a spaceship and not just a hovercraft. Right now, if I built the cockpit, and believe me, I can, and believe me, I've seen people build bigger things than what I've built. You can actually, and it defies the laws of physics, you can use a bunch of giant propellers, just the quantity more than the quality, and you can actually make the thing hover. You can't make it fly into space. It's only a thruster to do that, and you have to have a supply of oxygen on board your cockpit and your bay here if you need that. And I probably would just for kind of a style and effect, just for me personally, not because of the gameplay value, but you can't actually take off and fly into space. You can only hover or fly at a kind of like an air car, sorry, not a hovercraft, but an air car. You can take off at pretty good altitudes, like an airplane, like a helicopter. Kind of that's about what you can do. With these blocks, it's not aerodynamic, so you can't make like airplanes with airfoils where you fly really fast and everything either. You have to use it as a helicopter kind of a thing with hovercraft style air car kind of blades. I'm going to try to build the bulkhead here and the access door from the cockpit to the cargo bay, so that I can keep myself separated from those animals so they won't keep attacking me while I'm doing things. And if I ever they start getting too much for me, I can just come in here and then use my gun and bottleneck him and sort of shoot him from the door. Usually when you do, they'll run away. It's usually when you're out in the open, that's when they're going to surround you. But you can bottleneck them here. I know eventually I'm going to rebuild the cockpit and put the windows back in, and including and even the cockpit chairs, which are called they call that an exterior. No, they call it a interior cockpit. But what it is chairs. The exterior cockpit is like my vehicle. It's a module you get inside of. There we go. The doors work without power. Apparently, they have their own internal power supply. You have to have a generator for everything else, and including any light, even those little lights, those little fluorescent kind of mini lights. You still have to have. I'm gonna paint the upper walls orange, kind of that tan color, and the lower walls kind of that camouflage green color. Now, since this is going to take a while, I may edit part of this out. The music is really pretty, and the game's backdrop is pretty, and the story's awesome. So it kind of inspires me to make these creations. And there's people that, go mad with these things and create them. There's one guy on YouTube that made this amusement park rides, where he made this, I don't know, giant mouse and a pirate ship, all this stuff. Meaning the pirate ship that you ride at the amusement parks, like, Frontier City is what we call it here in Oklahoma, whatever it's called. They have this thing that pendulum rocks, and you sit inside of it, and he apparently made it where it worked, where this pendulum, goes back and forth on a pendulum. Starting up with some kind of I don't know how he started it up. I forgot, I haven't watched that video in a while. But you have to have some kind of a propulsion system to start it up, even if you're going to build something like that. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to paint the ceiling lighter color, but not white, and then the walls kind of a medium color, and then the floor a darker color. That's usually the best way to interior decorating. These are personal opinions. Those can do a different opinion about it. This is just, just stuff. Just fun. It's not any part of the game. It doesn't make any difference what color these things are. You can do anything you want. You can leave it whatever color it is and just worry about survival, whatever, but it's just aesthetically pleasing, and it makes the game funner to play to have these palettes where you can do this. Yeah, it looks like it's about time for the video to end. So I'm gonna have to edit some of this out because the 20-minute mark is already gone 31 seconds over. So this is Fushi Duck, YouTube channel. Fushi Duck on the YouTube site, my Fushi Duck channel. Please like and subscribe, and comment if it's constructive or praising. I don't like trolls or insults. Thank you very much. Goodbye.